It is about the 24th as of, well, recording this. I'm probably going to post it on the same day anyway, because I don't edit. I filter, obviously, but I don't edit. Um, but as of recording this, it's about the 24th or the 25th. And I only realized yesterday that as of about the 13th, no, it would have been a week. Granted, anyway, as of around the, like, let's say 7th or so of February, I had gone one full year without an attempt on my life. And I hadn't had the time to properly congratulate myself on that. So I guess I want to take this now and have it be a bit of an opportunity to give some inspiring words to anyone who may be, suffering from depression or have crippling social anxiety or just be afraid of change. Um, I had my thoughts on change video about over a year ago. Um, damn. Uh, I hadn't been focusing on content creation as much as I would like. Haven't exactly had the equipment to do so. I only have this phone and another phone. This one's alright. The other one sucks. It's so slow. Um, and not a lot of room to like set up other things. I of course have my VR headset. Um, but not a lot of like room to like set up anything else, you know? And it's so. But a lot of this has gotten me thinking about, what am I currently doing with my life? What have I done with my life in the year since I had not offed myself? Or I attempted to. I died, everyone. Anyway. Um, I really think a big contributor to like me not making that attempt was like moving. It was a really big change that just needed to happen, and it's almost been a year since I've just fully moved. Like as of the 27th or 28th, it will be a full year of me moving, and I've made so much progress this year just because I moved and got better, as opposed to the year prior where I was just sitting in the trailer depressed. Fuck. I did not realize Tara moved. I was just sitting in my trailer depressed. I was just sitting there sulking, being this little limp waste of potential. Mostly because I felt like I wasn't worth, using my life for something good. Because of like many things prior. And now I feel like I owe it to myself to do something with my life. I owe it to everyone I know and those that, would have, had doubts in me to do something with my life that is worth, right? I don't only owe it to myself, but I owe it to everyone who has been rooting for me and for those who have been rooting against me to prove those people wrong that I can do something. It's not too late for me. Like I have more potential than what others would think. And I've done so well so far. I've done far better than most people who had originally had doubts in me, and I will say I am grateful. And all of this would not have been possible if I didn't stop beating down on myself. Because once I started seeing myself as worth it, I I got better. I started not meditating, but I started just sitting and think. I guess it can be considered meditation by technicality. About many things, and all of this coming to a turn to me continuing down a certain path of enlightenment. I promise I'm not on drugs. Don't say I'm on. It's not drugs. I would never. As of now, I have no intention on like doing any sort of psychedelic drugs or alcohol or anything like that, which I think that is a big contributor to me reaching enlightenment, is that being clean and not, granted, get off the screen, and not having any sort of like biased views or like no hate to religion or the like clouded judgment and thinking that most people who are of a religious faith have. They have a very like narrow-minded look because that's what their faith teaches them to have, essentially. And I've opened like my mind a lot more to more grounded level thinking, like, because I'm not the type to sit here and think, oh, what's our big purpose in the universe if there is no God? And I'm like, I feel like having just this one life makes it much more beautiful because you only get the one, right? One comparison I always hear and absolutely love this comparison: if you're watching a movie and the movie's gonna end, you're not gonna cut it off in the middle. You're gonna watch the full movie. Except that that movie is your life. You are the director, right? And any one of us, no matter our position, can just take the rein, like, take the camera, like, as we're directing our life, and be like, hey, I want it this way, let's film it this way. It's gonna have some, like, bumps in the road to get it to this plot point, but we're gonna do it. And it's gonna be great. I am still slowly finding success however I define success, and honestly, I could not be more happier where I am right now, and I will prove myself wrong. I will prove myself wrong eventually. And I think that's a good mentality to have if you are suffering from, you know, thoughts of wanting to end your own life, because whether you know it or not, you have so much potential just by the pure nature of existing. Like, there are people with felony level charges and like no high school diploma still having decent jobs enough to have a stable housing situation. Like for example, I didn't graduate yet. But I'm still able to like decently afford what little I got, and that's fine. I've learned to just be happy with what little I do have. I have, three amazing cats which I absolutely love, which also give me a sense of purpose because in a way they are relying on me. And they're not as difficult to maintain as kids, Don't not gonna have any kids yet. It's a plan, eventually. Or adopt. I've also been thinking of adopting because I have personal experience in the foster care system, and some of it's good, but I do feel like having like a stable family home is much better. Um, Other than that, I do feel like, giving yourself these little senses of purpose are important to one's mental health, right? um, it's just giving yourself these things that are so beneficial to one's mind. It's just done so many wonders for me. I can't really explain it in this video. I know I've been rambling for like 11 minutes trying to like fully put together everything that's contributed to me having this better outlook on life. Realistically, the simplest way to be able to put it is I just took the reins of in my life and just sought out happiness myself. I will have times where it is difficult, it is tough, because sometimes, I wish I would make more money. I wish I did have, you know, my girlfriend living with me. I wish I did have a family already, but I'm only 22, right? And there is time. There is so much more time for me, at least, to do a lot more like than whatever I'm doing now. And I plan to do a lot more than what I am doing right now. If you're like me, like if you're as young as me or younger or around my age range, there is time. Like in just 1 year, I've done so much to fix my life. And only one. And it is because I just took charge. I just did what I felt like I had to do to make my life much, much better than what it was before. And realistically, you have to lay out the plan first. Like, what do you think, like, what things are contributing to your, like, declining mental state? And if it's, like, you're living with your parents and, like, they're, fucking naggy all the time, all right, plan your move out. If you can't because you're like 15, that's a whole bunch of years to be able to work, get your money ready, so you can get your first house, or preferably an apartment, because those are cheaper, unless they're not cheaper where you're from. I've heard of places like that. That's absurd to me. Get your first apartment. Maybe think of some towns that have much cheaper apartments to live in that are further away, from that negative environment. um, Learn what little skills you need to be more financially independent, more emotionally independent, just things like that. Be able to, maintain your own mental space, like in that negative environment, so that when you get out of it, you continue maintaining with that routine, you continue to make sure it's stable, and while you're out of it, you just feel this like almost otherworldly joy because you're free. Like if that's one thing that's contributing to having this bad mental space, fine. If you can't, if you're older and you're just trying to make enough money to move, all right, it will take time, but you can do it. You got this. Do what you have to do. And if there are other things that are contributing to like your declining mental state, like not feeling like you are enough, I would tell you right fucking now that you are. God damn it, stop saying that to yourself. I will personally come to your house and feed you cookies, you son of a bitch. Because I used to think like that too. I used to feel like I wasn't worth because of things I've done in the past. And then I decided I'm going to make myself worth, goddammit, by the good I plan to do in my future. And I think I'm doing alright. I have a nice little community that, some find me enduring. They do like me a little bit. Um, you know, and it's great. It's great. And I plan to do a whole lot more. I want to do more. I'm not gonna let the fact that I can't do more weigh me down, but I want to do more. And I will make it happen eventually. But other than that, like, in just 1 year, I've made so many differences in my life, and I will say I am proud of myself. My dad has said he's proud of everything I've done, and I really appreciate that, because that does mean a lot. I am a lot further than most people who are from my old hometown are. Some people, like my mother, for example, have to rely on others to keep them stable, to keep them out of trouble, to help them try and fight their whatever addictions they have. And I am here able to safely pay for my food, my cat's food, this little place, and other things like that. Sure, I'm not able to afford too many luxuries, but baby steps. I only recently got a raise, so we'll see what we can do with that. I've already taken enough of your time. This is already longer than most of my other videos. But all that being said, I do hope each of you have an amazing day, an amazing, week, month, year, life, whatever the fuck. I want y'all to have just an amazing moment, amazing life. That's what I hope for everyone that watches my videos and that is subscribed. I want y'all to have an amazing life. I will eventually try and pivot to gaming content once I can get a room where I can have a PC, and enough space for a PC, and do that. But as of now, that's not reality yet. But we will get there eventually. Anyway, that's all I have to say on that. It's been over a year since I've tried to myself, and that is a big milestone in my opinion. See ya.